Welcome back to the Daily Trading Journal. As always, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a certified financial advisor or certified financial planner. This video is truly just the musings of my journal as I'm learning through and going through the process of day trading. Now, today we've had some really nice breakthroughs, I feel like mentally. Again, we will only know until more days down the road. As I said in my last journal, it's kind of hard to know if I'm making progress or if I'm just, catching good days of trading and I'm, thinking clearly, making good decisions. But I want to tie those good decisions together. I want to put together a string of good days to build confidence over time. I've been reading in the Daily Trading Coach, an extremely valuable book. If you haven't picked it up and you're doing trading of any sort, it is the psychology of trading and how to become a better trader from a psychological standpoint, not just looking at technical levels on charts. Anyway, he was saying that you have to invoke positive experiences with the market so that it builds your confidence and ultimately you grow as a trader over time. And that is my goal. If you followed this for a while, you'll know that I've been changing and editing and evolving my rules and my plans in order to see what really fits for my style of trading. What I found is if I have opening bell, I make a few poor trades, it puts me in the hole. And then I either scale back my position size or I keep it the same. Sometimes the losses are too big to be overcome by the gains. And so I've been toying around with the idea of starting off the day with a smaller position size, seeing how things go. And if I find a stock that's following my pattern that's really starting to break out, then I add position size into that to then, take the larger profits. And therefore overcoming the small losses during market open, right? During market open, I'm watching levels, I'm seeing what's breaking out, I'm taking entries to see if those breakout points happen, but sometimes they don't, and they curve back around. And so what I find is if I stick with the position size, I sometimes don't have enough size in a good play in order to make back the losses, let alone take gains on the day. So today, what I did is I took a trade on IMMX, lost about, I think 40 cents, took another trade on, let's see where we're at here. Took another trade on CRKN and was not seeing good movement on either of those. So I pulled out of those two, held my losses for the moment, and then just sat and scanned and looked for bigger movement that was happening in the market. After I, sat for about a minute or so, I saw pop up on the scan PBLA. So PBLA popped up on my scanner right after this big candle. I knew there would be a pullback. And so I waited for the pullback, pulled back all the way down, and then started to make a move back up off of VWAP, at which point I took a trade from 20 cents up to about 22 cents right as it was breaking through. And it started to find some weakness, so I went ahead and sold that. Was up about $1.50 on the day at that. Actually, I was up about 20 cents on the day because I'd taken a few losses up until that point. And then I thought, okay, let's see if we'll have another pullback to another run up. Okay, so pulled back, had a nice run up. Unfortunately, I missed this one. I just wasn't really ready for it. And then finally, I thought, okay, I feel like we're going to have another test of pre-market high before this fades off. I know that PBLA is not one to run strong through the day. I've traded it before, and it usually has a nice run in the first 30 minutes of the morning and then just cuts back really hard. And so I was planning on that. I knew I was playing the high of day. I was not playing a break through the high of day. So as it came back on this final pullback, I waited to enter as it broke through this candle here and made a new 1 minute high. Saw a small pullback, made an entry, and then put on 1,000 shares. And then ran from 22 cents all the way up to about 23.8 and sold. And right there, I claimed $7 worth of P&L, which for me was very good. My goal is to have anywhere from, about 50 cents upwards of $1 or beyond. I'm really not aiming for more than $10 of P&L because I'm trying to still trade with smaller size. But what I wanted to do is I was confident of this move up at least to this price level. So buying about here, I knew I could at least claim a half a cent per share at 1,000 shares, which would give me what I needed to get at least that dollar of profit, okay? So I was playing that really small move right there. Fortunately, it broke through that small move and moved up a little higher. I was able to sell around the 20, right below 24 cents to come actually $7 of profit on the day. And so what I was really trying to focus on here was managing position size rather than size of the move for this final move. I knew I was getting close to the end of my sweet spot in the market. The best time I've seen for me with trading is these kind of fast, more predictable moves. Anytime I try to trade in the afternoon when it's more slow grinding and kind of chipping away, I usually give back profits because I don't know how to really play that pull back to the move up or it keeps moving up. I'm a very short-term holder when I trade. And so this was a perfect move for me up to this high. And then it just cut back and now it's just dragged on. It made another attempt at 23.75, but then cut back from there as I expected. I did not expect this stock to hold up. So played this really well according to my plan. Lost about, let's see, so ended up 445 on the day. So I lost around 250, but then made 7. So I was really happy with the win to loss ratio. So it was really good. What I would have wished I would have done would be have not taken those losses on CRKN and IMMX. Of course, who wants to take those losses, right? And I'm actually taking slightly bigger losses than I'm planning. I'm trying to stick at a 50-cent stop loss. But I think what's happening is I'm becoming a little impatient. As I'm entering the trades early in the day, I'm saying, hey, this might go up. So I kind of jump in and kind of hope for like a breakthrough of a resistance level. But it kind of is a little choppy at first. What I found is my best profits are taken at around the 835 time frame, 835 to 845, because what the stocks have been able to do at that point is kind of find their groove and kind of stabilize. So you see we have a lot of choppiness here in these first 3 candles. It's usually what I'm seeing as market opens till about 833. And then a stock starts to create a little bit of rhythm, right? Let's go ahead and look at IMMX. So as we can see here, IMMX, IMMX, as you can see, kind of that same thing. It kind of goes up and then pulls back and then goes up and pulls back. And then it starts to create more rhythm. And so when I'm trading in this kind of rhythm point, that's where I'm strongest. And I lost on this stock. I was down $1.60 on this because I tried to trade in those initial moments when there's a lot of volume, but not a lot of confirmation of the direction of the stock, right? And that's what I'm looking for, is confirmation of that direction. And then I get on and I move with the stock. And so the best entry would have been to wait, and then watch this first high candle break through VWAP. And then this would have been an awesome move from 203 all the way up to 230, right? And that's after we see some more confirmation. Even if we would have just seen, 203 to 211, that's still, a good amount of cents per move. And then we saw a slight pullback, and then it ripped up again off of a bit above VWAP up to 250 before fading back and hitting that key resistance level for the day. And as you see, I bet we're going to have a lot of grinding through here because there's a nice strong pre-market high resistance level. Here's the pre-market high. It popped up earlier in the day, and then now it's kind of grinding. So I think punch for punch, like that's what I'm seeing here is this kind of uncertainty, and then it finds its track. Either it's going to fade off or it's going to give us a nice pattern. Let's go ahead and look at CRKN. So again, kind of same thing. Like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? Green, red, green, red, green. Finds which way it's going to go. Either it's going to break down through VWAP or it's going to make a move up. And as you can see, it made a nice clean move up. But I had already traded so much in here that the stock felt weak to me because I created the weakness. I was the one who was not managing it correctly. If I would have waited and then just kind of got in at this bump, I would have had, let's see, break right through that candle off of VWAP, 27 cents, easily up to 36 cents. So 10 cents worth of move, plenty of space to take a lot of profits. And so I think one thing with this market that we're currently in, so pull back to 30 and then back up to 39. So again, another 10 cents, right? Nice clean pullback. I really liked the look of that. And so I think going into, unfortunately, I won't be trading for quite a while, about a week or so, taking some time just to be with my family. I think when I get back, I need to remember that, like, watch that kind of fumble. Like, what happens when the market, whether it be market makers or people or retail traders or institutionalized trading is happening, it's trying to figure out which way it wants to go. Let's look at PBLA. I'm sure we're going to see the same thing at market open. Yeah, even on PBLA, you see this kind of hesitation. It doesn't immediately just rip, right? It goes rip, back, rip, and then up. So at least 3 minutes of hesitation. And then let's see, on IMMX, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 minutes of which way am I going. It grabbed support under view app and then pulled back through. This definitely would have been a risky one. I would have probably played it breaking through that high resistance candle, so maybe 210 up to 230, which would have been good. 20-cent gain is always worthy of a good trade. Let's see if we can check out Crankin. Or this is Crown, sorry. Crown had about 5 candles before it decided which direction it was going to take. So again, I think this is definitely something that I need to keep in mind when I'm trading, is just wait to see the direction it takes, and it'll usually take a 5 to 10 minute pursuit of that direction. I think often what I think is like a stock is just going to rip up and never turn back. And so I want to get it in a nice low position. However, I'm seeing there's hesitation either up or down, and waiting for that hesitation to prove itself would be very healthy to add to the kind of that process right as market is opening. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the grading today. I'm enjoying doing the grading kind of live during the account. Position sizing. Okay, so this is kind of weird because I've been saying that I want to keep my position sizing at $10. However, on my winning stock of the day, PBLA, 20 cents. Let's see. I was in $200. I said I'd be $10. Much, much higher than I want to be in a stock. I said $10 was my limit. However, what I've been noticing is that it doesn't give me a lot of room to manage the sizing in order to mitigate loss and have an upside for gain. Because oftentimes I can only take 1 to 2 shares per trade. And so that's something I'm going to think through. I'm going to revisit. I definitely don't want to keep giving away my account. That's something that really concerns me because I've had a few big losses. I've had a few big $100, $200 loss days. And so I think as I'm getting into the day, I think starting small and increasing size as I see the patterns proving themselves out. And then once I make a nice gain, pull back that size. So small size, larger size as I see a stock proving itself, and then small size again if I want to stay in and kind of test out ideas. Because more time in the market gives me more time to learn and grow, and that's very important. So I think I honestly went in oversize. Even though it did work well, I would consider it less of total success and more of a hint of, okay, I got a good feel on that move, and it went in my favor, and I got money. I got the trade that I wanted. So I'm going to be super honest with myself and give myself a B on position sizing, because although it did work to my advantage, it could have easily worked against me. Limiting losses, I did not do that well. I would give that a D+. I went into things that weren't really necessary to go into. PBLA was the stock, for me to be in today, and I should have avoided some of the things that I traded. Adding to an existing position, that for me, because I did it well, felt like an A+ today. because that ended up made me really nicely green on the day for my sizing. Stop trading and limit size when loss occurs. Stop trading occurs, or to me when gain occurs, and I would say A plus for this because I was up actually about 5:45 on the day, and I entered one more thing. I was like, hey, let's see if we can make the breakthrough, and it didn't do well. And so that wasn't the best move. Wasn't proud of that one. So A- on that. Entering and exiting positions, I will give myself a solid C average because I didn't like my first two entries, but when playing PBLA was very good. I was very satisfied with how I played PBLA. Punch for punch, I would say overall it was pretty much a B- day or an average day. Nothing really that I did I felt was, like pat on my back. Nothing I did I felt like was horribly wrong. I really feel good. It was a good positive experience on the week heading into the long break. And so I can kind of reflect on trading throughout the next week or so, the time I'm taking off, and I can feel positive. I created a positive experience today. I'm very happy with that. I think moving into the next week, getting back, it's Christmas and then New Year. So I really don't think I'll be trading probably till the new year. And so I want to write down those two main notes, which is, give some time for the hesitation to point out the direction, and then start small and increase as you find something moving nicely. Make sure it has a pattern. Don't follow high. And that will really be the best bet moving forward. So punch for punch, like I said, average trading day for one of my better income, generation of the day. I had a lot of big losses, and so I'm trying to slowly increase those gains consistently, mitigate losses, take small gains to kind of slowly rebuild my account before I go and start taking much larger size. So $200 on a trade is nothing compared to what I was doing when I started losing big money. I was in $1,300. I was in $800, $900, and it was just too much, and the losses were happening too quickly. And emotionally, I'd yet to even make wins that big, and so the losses were very overwhelming. So again, this is feeling much better, feeling more calm as I'm trading. And really, the daily trading coach has been night and day difference in just my mindset and my approach to the markets, and my reviewing and seeing what's happening and understanding how I'm thinking and catching myself when I'm making poor decisions and just rage trading. So eliminating rage trade is probably one of the biggest goals of mine, because managing position can be very calm, can be very copacetic. Super, super upset with myself about those first two trades, as they were just kind of aimless. I think that's one thing that I do that is unattractive in myself, is I aimlessly trade. I hope trade rather than saying, hey, there's a move, put some position in there. Let's see it move up. Done. Move on. But again, I was reading in Brett's other book, Enhancing Trader Performance, and he was saying that honestly, sometimes a trader who becomes overwhelmed and makes bad decisions can learn more. I just don't want to make such bad decisions that I blow up my account. I want to stay above PDT so I can make moves in and out very quickly in order to keep the account growing, or to stop the account from bleeding as of right now. Punch for punch, thanks for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next Trading Journal.